a discussion going. And okay, so today I want to talk about roll and writes, and I have a lovely list here, all the way from BGG, and I looked up roll and writes, and there's a category there, and I wanted to talk about the top 10 on that list and what I think about that. So I don't have a top 10 of my own because I simply love all roll and writes, and my collection is quite large. Let me just tell the Twitter. Live on YouTube. Huzzah! Okay, so, oh, hello. Have a couple people viewing. Anyway, so on BGG, I looked up roll and writes. There are 102 listed roll and writes. So I thought, well, that doesn't seem like a lot, but according to other people, my friends, I just said, hey, Charlotte, I said to my friends, I'm like, 102 doesn't seem like a whole lot of roll and writes, but I guess apparently people think that's a lot. And I counted, and I've played 52 of the 102. Some of them are weird because they're like promos to already existing roll and writes, or some of them are just like little mini expansions to some roll and writes. And so it's not the 102 is loose because I wouldn't really count like the Mediterranean expansion for Roll Through the Ages Iron Age to be its own thing, but I guess according to BGG it is. So the top 10 roll and writes on BGG, the highest rated one is Roll Through the Ages, the Bronze Age. So I thought that was funny. So I'm like, okay, I totally get it. It was, 2008, I think. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome. When I played it probably when I got into the hobby, like around 2011 or so. And then they came out with the Iron Age, and I was just like, this is so much better. And I really like the first one, but I really like Iron Age. I have it here. It's huge. Oh, there was a Kickstarter for it. So I have that Mediterranean expansion in here. I think that was only available through the Kickstarter. But I have to admit, I have not played this a whole lot. I think I've played it maybe 2 or 3 times, which is not enough. And I wonder if that's because it can be kind of long. So if you're playing with a bunch of people, you're waiting for your turn every time. So you're not as engaged as other roll and writes like Quicks or something, where you're actively looking at other players and trying to figure out what's best for you. But this offers a lot of cool different ways to go, and it's very easy. Well, it's not that easy, but you're filling out the little bubbles and going through, and then you could add in the Mediterranean map, which is another whole thing, and I'm not even sure that I've played that yet. So I should get on that, right? So this is the Iron Age. Again, the number 1 is the Bronze Age, which came before this one. I no longer have that one because I have this one. So definitely worth checking out if you like roll and writes. It kind of was almost a pioneer, I would say, besides Yahtzee. I mean, everybody's played Yahtzee, and I was going to get to Yahtzee later, but, that's really, like, the earliest roll and write, right? So everybody likes Yahtzee at some point, I'm sure, or has played it anyway, and that's how you get into poker, right? So number 2 for the BGG list of ranking is Quicks. Now, Quicks is wonderful. I love Quicks. Why? Because it's easy to play. My family will play it. It's awesome. So, whenever I go away anywhere, I always bring my box of roll and writes because I love roll and writes so much. Again, remember, I played 52 of the 102 listed. That's not half bad. But I'm thinking, what are these other 50 that I need to play? I gotta get on this, right? So I have this little like Rolling Japan box full of roll and writes, and on here is the list of every roll and write in this box. So I have a laminator and I laminate everything, and they're all now in this box. So I have my Quicks big points, my Quicks gimmicks, my knockmall, my rolling Japan, my Crabell. I have it all in this box. So whenever I go to a convention or but again, my family won't play Quicks big points. That might be too many rules. So Quicks is always a good one to, pull out Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, and I'm happy that it's this high on the list. Now, the next one on the BGG ranking is La Granja No Siesta. Now, this is funny because I just played this the other day with Ron, and we kind of came to the conclusion that we don't need to keep it in the collection. And I think that's because the game only ends once somebody makes it all the way up the hat track. Now, there are a lot of comparisons for La Granja No Siesta and La Granja, but we both feel like we'd rather play La Granja. Now, the quality of everything in the game is there. The dice, the tokens, the score sheet, everything is really nice. But it's kind of long, and even for two players, if you don't roll hats, then the game might never end. You really need to roll hats and move up the hat track. So in the past couple games that I've played, basically Ron and I have filled up our whole sheet and got 1,000,000 points because nobody wanted to end it on the hat track. So it's a game I ended up actually getting rid of that, and I think it's okay. I mean, I will happily play it again if it comes to my table. I will play it, and I think it's great. But with all the roll and writes that I have in my boxes of all these games here, I don't really feel the need to own it. Next was Quinto. So this is also in in my box of roll and writes, and it's just really good. It's a really, again, my family will play that one. Deserves to be on this high-ranking list. I am kind of shocked at some of these on here. I'm like, why isn't Rolling Japan on this list? But I'm going to get to all the ones that I think should be on the list after. So that was number 4 is Quinto. And if you haven't played, it's a game where somebody's rolling and everybody can take the result after they finish rolling. So I roll, maybe I do another roll because I can have up to 3 rolls. So, I want to get the number I want or hope to. And then the next person will do the same, and it goes round and round and round. You're trying to fill in the lines. Pretty simple, pretty awesome. If you like rolling rights. Next is Viva Java Dice. That was number 5. I think I've played it. I'm pretty sure I've played it. It was a long time ago when we had a bunch of people. So if I played this, I'm pretty sure I have played it because I rated it. So I need to play it again. I have to play it again. So Christopher says he saw someone say this is the only game with 2 S's in the title. 2 S. With 2 colons in the title. It must be La Granja No Siesta? But there's only 1 colon. La Granja No Siesta. There's only 1 colon. Oh, Viva Java. I didn't actually write the colons. I'll have to double check that. That is interesting. Again, I don't own it, and I would like to play that one again because I'm sure I will really like that one once I get to play it again. I think it was just confusing. We were all learning that first time, so it's not coming back in my memory for some reason. So it's one I definitely need to revisit. I think I know somebody who has it, so I got to get him to bring that around. I think you're collecting, I think it's set collection, and you're trying to make different beans to form different blends, if I'm not mistaken. But I have not played the big game either, which I should probably get on. But I don't really like coffee, so I have no connection there. So maybe I should have some coffee. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the BGG list ranking is Avenue. Oh, how I love Avenue. I really, really love Avenue. I have it here in my stack. I'm going through my stacks. Oh, this game. So it's funny. There was a meme going around that I saw thanks to Colin, and it was like, so Avenue, do I play the roll and write Avenue? And there was a big argument in the meme saying it's not a roll and write, it's not a roll and write. And then it should be a draw and draw, because you're really drawing a line and you're drawing a card after you draw so you draw the card and you draw the line. And I thought that was really funny. I'll have to link that in, I guess. But so yeah, there's no dice in this game. So that's the question. But you get the same feeling, right? So you are all collectively getting information that you are then using to put on your board. And you're drawing on your board. And you're making pathways. And you're trying to collect the grapes. And you're trying to go through the letters and get... Oh, this game is wonderful. It's kind of a push your luck, too, because you're like, okay, if I can just get that one line, then I can get like a ton of points. But if I don't get that line, then I won't get to score anything. And so, oh gosh. So I love that feeling of not knowing and hoping for the best. So that's why I love City so much. It's not a roll and write, but it's in my top 10 because I love not knowing and hoping for the best. I need that one tile to score all these points. And if I don't get it, well, that's the game. And it plays out so fast. So I've played Avenue a ton of times, and this is well deserved to be in a top 10 roll and write list. Easy. I also laminated some sheets here. It can play like 100 people. Like, oh. All of these. Love it. I love it. Definitely one to play more of. And before anybody says anything, I have played Kokoro, the re-theme of Avenue. And I would simply play it as Avenue. I wouldn't play it with all the expansion cards and stuff, but I haven't tried it, so maybe I should, but why change something that's so good already? That's my opinion. Next on the list is Knockmall. And Knockmall came out a couple years ago, and yep, that is in my box of roll and writes, of course. Oh, and all the new sheets that just came out. Oh, I'm so happy they made new sheets because the black one was getting a little... Alright, it's getting a little long. I probably wouldn't play Knockmall with 5 unless that's the number of players that I had. I'm trying to find the Knockmall sheets. I have so many, but they're under... Also, now there's different colors, different patterns. And now this game is great now with all the patterns because everybody can have a different board. And so before everybody was using the same thing. Oh, he's going that way. Well, maybe I'll go this way. But now you just don't know because we have different colors. Well, I could simply analyze every board if I wanted to, but then... So now you can just work on your own thing without, having to worry too much about what other people are doing, and so good. I just like filling in all the boxes. Just like that a lot. The next one is Saint Malo, and this one I learned pretty recently, and I had to immediately go out and buy it. It's actually a bigger box here, and this. You need colored markers to play this game. You don't need them. Okay, you don't really need them. But it makes it so much better, right? Oh, so because you're rolling these dice and you're collecting different symbols that you're putting on your board here. So, yeah, if you roll you might get crates, or you might get people or buildings. So if you have different colored markers, your board will be beautiful at the end. Oh, and it makes a difference for me because I like all that color. So this game is also solitaire because you're kind of rolling and then taking your stuff and then you pass the dice. But while other people are going, you can simply make your board more colorful, making your buildings better or doing something else. So it goes by quickly. You get these nice quality boards. I really like this game. And if you haven't checked that one out, that's a really good one. It can be kind of long, so don't play with slow players. That's all I can say. The next one I haven't explored too much. I've played a few times and I have it, but BGG rates this number 9, Zularedo dice game. Now I even got the new expansion maps, which I haven't tried, and that was from Essen in October. So, wow, I really gotta get on that. This is a good one. The problem is you need 3 or 4 players, and well, I play a lot of 2-player games with Ron, so it's much easier to get 2-player games to the table. I wonder if the new maps can account for that. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at that. So, something to look at. I love the dice. They're all little animals there. Nice quality stuff in this box. I think the pages are double-sided, which is always excellent. Again, seems to not get played as much as some of the other ones. Probably because it's not in my box of roll-in rights, which maybe it should be. I need a bigger box, apparently, because I can't hold all of these in my box. The last one, number 10 on the BGG ranking list, is Castles of Burgundy dice game. Now, I played this recently, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much because I didn't really love the card game version. But the dice game was actually pretty good. Apparently, there's different maps in the board, in the pad of paper, which is always excellent, and one that I want to try out the other boards, or maybe have other people try different boards when playing, so maybe different things will happen. It did feel kind of long. I think it ran 45 minutes or something, which I think is too long, when we could play the real game, which is 100 times better, in my opinion, with not much more time. So I just feel like you get more decisions in the actual Castle of Burgundy versus the dice game. And I didn't think it was bad. I would certainly play it again. It beat my expectations for it anyway. So yeah, that was BGG's top 10 ranking for roll-in rights. And I was kind of like a little surprised. And I wonder if that's because Rolling Japan isn't readily available. But for me, Rolling Japan is easily one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites because it's mean. It's straight up mean. You're not being mean to other players. The game is just mean. And I'm not usually a fan of that, which is the funny part, because it makes me feel bad. But because the game is 10 minutes, I'm like making all these stressful decisions. And I'm like, okay, well, I can still make it work if we roll exactly right. And of course, you never roll exactly right. But, so another one in the same line, which is more readily available, is Rolling America. And I actually really like this one. It offers, over here. It offers a few more ways to alter your dice, which makes it a little bit easier, but harder at the same time because there's more connections going on in here than there are in Rolling Japan. If I can get my Rolling Japan board out, it's all the way at the bottom. Rolling Japan. So there's not as much touching as there are in Rolling America. And then on my back I have Rolling Tokyo. And I really want to play Rolling World. Oh, I don't know why I don't have that yet, or haven't been. Nobody has it that I know. That seems weird, but it's been out, and I need it. Really need it. I'm sure it's wonderful. There was also one floating around BGG, like Rolling Middle Earth. I'm like, oh, I just want to play that just because I love Lord of the Rings. um, so yeah, it's really good. That's easily one of my favorites. I love Quick's Big Points. I kind of talked about it earlier, but this is Quick's Big Points, and it's kind of the gamers Quicks. There's a lot more choices because once you fill in like the green 6, well, maybe you can get another green 6 and fill in that bubble. But the bubbles work the same way, so if you're going this way, if you fill that in, you can't go backwards. Now, what the bubbles do is it adds 1 to both the blue and the green line when you're counting up your X's. So then you can count the bubbles as well, and you get some huge points. Oh, so many points to be had, and I just want all the points. Points! So, Quick's Big Points really surprised me. I love the look of Quick's Mixed. Where is it? Got it in here somewhere. Maybe. Oh my god, I have so many in here. Well, oh, it's here. Okay. It's double-sided because these were given to me. So this is all the lines are colored. So if I roll a red 7, I can take it over here as long as it still works in the line. Or, you know, if I roll a red 2, it goes here. It's all crazy. And then the back of this, all the numbers are screwed up, so it doesn't go in numerical order anymore. So that's just... Psh. When I played that, I was like, yes! But then I played Quick's Big Points. I was like, yes, even more! Yes, yes, yes! Also in my box is Dice Stars. Now, this is also kind of a gamer's game. You're pulling dice from this bag, and you have to like fill in over here to try and get the full rows to get over here, get the stars. It's not as easy. So my family probably couldn't play this. There's probably just too many rules in this one. So it's not as easy to grasp or pick up as like Quicks or Quinto. So that one doesn't necessarily get played as much because it's also on the longer side. Oh, if you wanted to know what Quinto looked like, that's this one. Got that. I recently printed a few prototypes. So I haven't actually played it, but I got box cars here, which looks awesome. I have no idea how to play, so I have to figure out the rules to that. And I also learned Holy Rollers, which I actually played at Unpub, which was great. And I thought this was really cool. And he gave me some sheets so I could laminate them. So now I can play. I should play it again soon before I forget everything. What else is in here? Oh, one of my favorites from last year is Cribeln. Oh, Cribeln is really cool. The dice are all unique. These ones here, not the black ones. And so there's 6 dice with 6 colors, and every color is represented on every die in a different value. So there's a red 1 on one die, a red 2 on another die, etc. through 6. And each round you're trying to roll. It's a solo kind of, nobody can leech off of other people, but you're trying to make all these requirements in order. So the first round, you want exactly 2 blues in this case. Now, you never look at the pip value for the requirements here, but you are looking for them for like the scoring value. So if you have the highest score that passes, then you get however many people are playing. So for 3 players, you get 3 points. Or if you're the last, or if you don't beat it, if you don't beat it, you get no points. But if you do beat the round, then you'll get a minimum of 1 point. And so you're trying to do all this, and then you have these Cribellons here, and those are kind of like mulligans. But if you mulligan and say, I can't beat this, so I'm gonna take the Cribellon. If you take that value, the next time you go for it, you have to beat that value in a higher PibFet score. And so there's different sheets that you can play with rules, and that's really good. Can't recommend that enough. That's actually on Brettspielwelt if you like that site to play games. I haven't gone on there in a while, but they did a really good job implementing that one on there. They also have Knockmall. Woohoo! And so with Knockmall, every time you fill in a column, it goes woohoo! Oh, it's so good. So I recently acquired sheets for Doodle City, which I think I played once before. And I think it's supposed to be kind of like Avenue. You're making like pathways through the roads and the cars and the buildings. I don't remember how to play, so it's just a sign that I need to play it again. That's right. Oh, also in here, got my erasers and my pens. Big chunky dice. I recently got 21. This was last year as well. I have the box here. Now this is one where everybody gets to use the dice of who's ever rolling. But the roller gets to have some re-rolls if they want. And then you get to fill in these sheets. So the rules are a little complicated. I don't have them in English, so we've played it a few different ways incorrectly and a few ways correctly. So I'm not going to get into the details, but you're just trying to fill in all of these rows with the exact numbers. The more exact numbers you get, the more points you can also get. So that one's fun. It comes with 6 different sheets, so you can play with 6 players because everybody needs to have a different sheet. I think that's all that's in my box of fun games for now. I have more to talk about. I wanted to touch on a game which I put into debate a few times in the past couple days since I was like, I'm going to talk about roll and writes. And that is Boggle. I know everybody will say it's not really a roll and write, but I mean, you are simply rolling dice and then you are writing words. I mean, it's the definition of roll and write. So why can't it be considered a roll and write? It's not in BGG as a roll and write. So I'm like, it kind of makes me like go humph. And it's dice when you're, so I consider it a roll and write after thinking about it, but nobody else will be with me on that one, I don't think. But you are literally rolling dice and then writing words. That's what I have to say about that. So one of the early roll and writes that got me really into roll and writes before I even really thought about it is a game called Mosaics. Now this is probably one several people haven't heard of because 2009, it's probably been long forgotten. Ooh, I just got notified from Shrey that Stanchion Clever, which I haven't talked about yet, it's over there, is now on Brettspielwelt as well. So there you go, check it out. So yeah, Mosaics. It comes in this tin can. And it comes with 4 dice with different shapes on them. And you are rolling these dice and you have to fill in your board. You're trying to get groupings of shapes. I mean, it's pretty simple. Anybody could play. More roll and writes. This has got to be one of the early roll and writes there with Roll Through the Ages and Catan. Dice game. So I haven't played the Catan dice game, or I would talk about it more. And I probably should, right? I mean, it was one of the earlier ones, too. It doesn't have the best reviews, but I would always try it roll and write, right? So I probably should. Mosaics. I like it. I like drawing shapes and trying to get big groupings the shapes. It's simple and fun. So since we just brought it up, which now on Bretchfield belt, Conjo Clever. This is the hotness right now for roll and rights. I mean, this just came out. I think it's nominated. Should be, because it's awesome. It's a gamer's game, though. So if you're going to play, don't play with your mom. I mean, my mom could not handle this. There are too many little nitpick rules that are just, it's confusing. And if you're not really into all that, it's not going to go over so well. So here, here's an example. Let's see. All these little symbols, every time you hit the space, you're going to get a bonus. Probably to fill in like a yellow square, or to fill in a blue square, or to get a +1. So then you get these +1s. You could take an extra die on your turn, or somebody else's turn. You could get some rerolls. And so all those little things, there's too many like objectives to make this an easy family game. It's just a little complicated for my family, which is fine. I'll play quicks with them. But this one, oh, there's good choices. I am terrible at this game, like really, really bad. I cannot figure out what to take when or why or how. I'm like, I'm going to go in with a plan. I'm going to get all the foxes. So the foxes are important because if you collect them, then you can get multipliers at the end of the game. So you definitely want to do that. So if you get 2 foxes, you'll get your lowest score multiplied by 2. But if you get all 5 foxes, you get your lowest score multiplied by 5. So it's all about getting the combos. And towards the end of the game, you'll get so many combos. And it's fun to get all those combos. I'm not going to lie. When you can run a combo of like 5 different things, you're like, yes, I am successful. And so, just having that feeling is just so fun. And everybody should have that feeling at least once. Now, there's been a couple games where I don't get that combo. I'm like, I stink at this game. But then I just try again, right? Yeah. So I only have a couple more next to me here. I did want to talk about Metro X. I just learned this one from a Kazu brand, and I need it. I need it now. That's why I don't have it, because I need it. And so this one comes with 2 maps as well, and it's also not really rolling dice. You are drawing cards and then using that information to put on your map. And on your map, you're trying to fill in the metro of Tokyo or Kazu. Osaka. No, I'm so bad at names. I'm sorry. Anyway, you're trying to fill in these metro lines and get all the points before the other people can fill them in and get the points. But you're trying to also kind of combo, because if you can fill in these ones here, then you won't have to fill it in over here. And then, oh my God. And after the first game, you're like, wow, I could have played that better. And then you play again, and you don't play it better. Because it's hard. It's really hard. I am just, again, terrible at that one. So I have to figure out how to play that better. But the cards are interesting because there's a reshuffle card. So if you pull that card early, you might reshuffle and then get it again and then do it again. So you might end up getting this 6 reshuffle a whole bunch, which is awesome because you want the 6. But you might not see it at all or till the very end of the game, and you're like, oh, I could really use that 6. Where is it? So there's that game is definitely interesting. I've only played it a few times now, and I simply love it. And that is one I really, really need to get played and own. And so one that many people probably haven't heard of that I really like, well, I can't really say that I like them all, right? But it is Sweet Stack. Oh, now this one, this is also not really dice, okay? So, but it's the cards that you are allocating to your opponent. So you have a hand of cards, and you're going to be playing them on the person to your right or to your left, depending on which round. And they have to fill it in. And they're all Tetris-like pieces. So you're filling in your little board. You play through 3 rounds, and you're trying to make them bust. So you're like, okay, they can't work with these, with this piece, so I'm going to hand them this card. But sometimes the harder cards for them to place, they get them stuff. So if I play something with a pumpkin, I might get the pumpkin, or they might get the pumpkin. And pumpkins can be used to help modify the card or switch out a card or something like that. And so you're trying to fill in the rows, much like Tetris. And then you get a bonus and some bonuses. And you play through 3 rounds, and you're trying to get the most points each round. And the most points at the end for all 3 rounds will win. And I really... Oh, was I holding it wrong? Okay, sorry, over here. There we go. I really like this game. It is mean. Oh, but what's interesting about the game is that I'm playing these mean cards on, the person to my right, but then at the end of the round, all the cards that they've played, that I've played on them, go into their hand, and then the round goes the other way. So they're going to immediately start playing them on me. And I'm like, why did I play that on him? And then I could, yeah. So this game is too fun. It's especially great when it's Halloween and you're listening to, Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that. And, yeah, so again, this one's probably not easy enough for my family. And it's probably a bit mean. But it's fun. And you're playing these pieces, these cards on people, and there's nothing they can do about it if they got no pumpkins. I mean, they might get some pumpkins to say, not this time. Or be able to rotate it so it doesn't, screw them over as much or something like that. But this game is just... that needs to be played more, right? I mean, I'm saying that for everything. It means I don't play enough. I don't play enough games. And if you know me, you'd probably argue with me. But I need to play more. So I want to touch on another hotness that's happening right now that everybody is loving. Welcome to. So this one getting published soon in the US, so everybody will be able to get it, is awesome. Really good. Again, it's cards, no dice. We all like rolling dice, so rolling right. But you're filling in your boards. Let's see if I can open it. You got your board here. And you're filling it in, and once you can place a house anywhere, but they have to go in order, so the low values to high values, and they can't have 10 next to 10, but same thing. So you're going to have a selection of 3 numbers, and you're always going to choose 1 to play, but you'll also get a bonus with it if you want. On the other side of these cards are little symbols, and so each time you take a number, you also can take a symbol with it and then maybe fill in something down here to give you bonus points. So you're like, all right, if I place the pool, so if I put the 1 pool in the 1 pool spot, so see this space? If you put the pool in a pool spot, you'll get a bonus of a pool. You cross out that, and then you get a higher value at the end of the game. And so each thing, if you fill in a forest in this row, then you can cross out a forest in that row. And so you're trying to do all these different things or increase your neighborhood's value. So you're going to get some fences. You're going to place some fences. Now, the game ends when somebody completes all of the goals. So there's going to be 3 goals to have, in this case, 6 1 sections. So I'm going to have to make a lot of individual fenced-in areas for just 1. I'm going to need 6 of them. And once I do that, all with houses in them, then I can score that card. And now the game ends when somebody completes all 3 of the objectives. And if you finish first, you'll get a higher value than the people finishing second, third, or fourth, or whatever. 100th, or, everybody can score second value, but you want the higher value to get the higher points. So what's more important to you? I like that there's an advanced mode. There's advanced cards, and you can play with some other advanced rules, which I haven't even tried out the rotary because I'm always usually teaching this game. But you get some negative points, so those gotta be good, right? They better be if you're getting negative for them. So this game offers, a lot of cards, so a lot of replay, and it's fun. Everybody has the same information. Who can play it better? That is the goal, right? And I've probably played 10 times now, and I can't get enough. I just want more and more and more. And so everybody will get that soon in the United States. Welcome to. And you get to name your town, and mine's always called Rainbow Town, or generally. Rainbow Town, welcome to Rainbow Town. So I talked about almost everything. I forgot one thing. It's over there, though. No! It's all the way over there. All right. Okay. I'll be real fast. Promise. Okay. So I just recently got these 3 games. Ooh, that is upside down. The Penny Papers Adventures. And so... Ooh, did I break it? Kind of was spinning there for a second. Sorry about that. So the Penny Paper Adventures. And now these are super interesting. I've only played them once. I plan on playing them again this weekend. So they're for ages 7, 8, and 9. And I think that's amazing because you're playing them and you really feel the difference. Like, you wouldn't think, okay, a 7-year-old could play this, but not this one. Well, that might actually be true. They are super great. So the first one here, you are rolling dice, you're trying to make sets of numbers. But what's interesting is that all 3 dice, they're in all the games, and the rules kind of carry over. So if you know how to play this one, it's kind of easy to pick up the next 2, which is awesome, even though there's a few more rules. But so if you roll Penny, then she can be any value, which is awesome because you might be collecting 5s or something. Or if you roll the key, you can go into the locked areas. But if you roll the mummy, that's bad. The other player gets to draw the mummy symbol on your board. And now that kind of works the same way for the other one here. Anytime a red die is rolled in any of these games, another player gets to draw that symbol on your board, which will potentially be negative points at the end of the game. So you want to be careful of that. There's always a way to get rid of them if you use the correct number. Or in the first 2 games, if you place the number adjacent, and adjacent means anywhere around the air, in the 8 squares around that symbol. Now, out of these 3, this one's the age of 9. I actually like this one the most, Skull Island. Now I'll show you it. Why do I like this one, you say? Why is this one different than the rest? Oh, I want to also point out that each of these games comes with double-sided maps. So that's basically 6 games. That is 6 games in these 3 games. So here, you are trying to collect treasure. Now, the green die in this game is a boat. When you roll the boat, you place the boat anywhere on the water. Now, what's cool about that, it acts as a wild number. So what you're trying to do is get these numbers that you have here and pinpoint. So there's a 6 here, a 6 here, and then if you go down, there's a 6 there. And then the boat can be used as a wild. So the intersection of 4 numbers that are the same, and then I circle that, even though it says 10, I would still score 6 points because that's the value of the hidden treasure. But that 10 could still be used somewhere else to make an intersection. So 10, 10, 10, And then the boat is a wild, so I can circle that. Each space can only be a treasure once, though, so I can't, pinpoint another treasure and get another value. But you're trying to collect 5 treasures. This was my sad board, and Ron, absolutely destroyed me, of course, as he does. So you're using these. You're trying to make the best map possible to find the treasure, and I think it's almost like a game within a game to me. I mean, I know it's the game, but it feels like I'm doing the dice mechanic, but I'm also trying to place everything properly to get the treasure. And it's just so good. It's so good. I really like that. So with this one, it's a little bit harder, yes. But you have a little more free will if you want, if you get my drift. Let's see. I'll look at. Ron beat me again, of course. Here's my board. So you're trying to collect groupings of these different symbols here. And then you can draw the little patterns outline telling you what it is. But when you roll the green guy, you can put these different landmarks out on the board. So the whole board is basically open. It starts as, you're just totally empty. The back side, however, has water and it looks a lot harder. So Ron forgot to tell me a little rule where the little snake creature, if that's on your board, you get minus whatever the highest value next to it. So I had a 15 next to 2 of them, so that was minus 30 right out of the gate, right at the end of the game. And I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, you have a little more control over the type of scoring that you're gonna get in this one than you are, that I feel, in this one. So I really like finding the treasure in this game. Not to say that this one isn't fun. I had a lot of fun, and I definitely want to play with the water on the back. So I'm just really excited to play these more. I've only played them all once. I definitely felt the first one, the temple. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. A peekaboo, maybe. This one was definitely the easiest. Definitely more accessible for younger kids, I would say. And as you go up, I do feel like they are a little bit harder. And so the final one is definitely most challenging because you're trying to optimize and score all these points, which is great. I love that. But I think the sweet spot for me is Skull Island out of these 3. And I can't wait to play them all. I love so Penny is always going to be whatever value you want her to be, and that's really helpful because you might need that 3 or you might need that 10. Who knows? And she can be 1 through 15, and that's just awesome. Now, I didn't mention that when you roll a red one, you always have to negate whatever else is being rolled and give up your sheet to another player. So you can't take whatever else is being rolled at that time. Normally, you could take combinations of the dice. You can use 2 dice or 3 dice or 1, 1, 1 or whatever. And that's really cool. You get some, free will there and just mark the board how you see fit, really. And I think this series of games is really going somewhere. So I can't wait to see what else comes out. I hope they keep doing a couple more. Maybe they'll do a 10 and 11 and 12. Who knows? I can't wait. Oh, hi, James. You waved. Thank you. I think I covered basically all 52 roll and writes that I've played. That's not true, but I did cover a lot of them. And the top 10 ranked on BGG. But I'm not 100% sure I agree with that list, though it's nice to compare. I would definitely put Avenue up there, and Skull Island, and St. Malo is really good. And of course, all of the draw games I think are great. Gotcha, Clever. all these games deserve a spot in the collection. Can you tell that I like roll and rides? Anyway, I wanted to thank you all for coming and enjoying roll and rides with me.